there. We're going to go live on YouTube. We're going to go live on Instagram.
Did it get that little burp?
We're going to start recording there. We're going to go live on Facebook. Waiting to go live on Facebook. Okay. We're going to start recording on the mixer in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to the Misguidance Podcast, where your hosts Daniel, Lana,
and on occasion Morgan
serve up a weekly slice of life's chaos casserole. We're like that GPS that confidently yells, recalculating, just as you pass the last exit before the toll.
Join us and our guests as we navigate the potholes of personal predicaments and maybe, just maybe, find the right exit together.
Stay tuned and remember, every misstep is just a detour on the road to wisdom. Or at least that's what we tell ourselves.
All right, welcome back to the Misguidance Podcast. We're here today. It's me, Morgan, and Daniel, and we're here on this week celebrating Morgan's birthday.
Woo!
Yeah! Morgan, tell us about what is your birthday, 1. What's your sign? 2, because everyone needs to know. And 3, what are you doing to celebrate?
I am going to be 33 on Friday, which my life path number is a 9. Isn't your life path number also a 9?
It is.
This is
a
why
9.
we're friends.
Yes.
And so I am claiming 33 as a very good year because 3 times 3 is 9.
Math!
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I claim it. I'm a Pisces.
Pisces.
So that means I can be very sensitive. But
There's
I
nothing
think
wrong with being
that's-
sensitive.
I think
No,
that
there's
is.
not.
No.
I think
It's
that's a strength.
It
I
is a
feel I
strength.
feel all my feelings very hard. But I'm also like very intuitive, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So some of the I guess lesser or less good traits of Pisces, sometimes we can be a little bit of a pushover, maybe struggling with setting boundaries. I think that there's a big difference between like what I would consider an unhealed Pisces and a healed Pisces.
Oh, yeah.
Unhealed Pisces can be maybe
A doormat.
a doormat or like overly sensitive or, take things a little too personally that really has nothing to do with you. So
Yeah.
I think that then like healed Pisces is where it's at.
Yeah.
Do you put a lot of stock into the signs and stuff like that?
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. She has a whole astrology journal that she keeps track of.
Oh yeah,
She
we
has
talked about that, didn't we?
And she has a spreadsheet
Oh my God.
of all of the
Transits.
I
Yeah.
don't even know what they mean, but she has a spreadsheet and
Well, see, okay, I think the thing that, well, also it's like very triggering for some fundamentalist Christians too, but to me they're not in conflict. But I think the difference is it's how you use it as a tool. Is if you're using it as a tool for like divination and predicting the future, I think that's where it kind of it can get a little bit, I don't know what the word is, but
pseudoscience-y.
yeah, but when you think about like what's happening, well, just take like the moon for example and how the tides change just because of the moon. You can't, and full moons affect our bodies just as much as they affect the tides. So you can't say like that planetary bodies and energy is not affecting life on Earth. And I do think that there's some stock with, where the planets were when you were born and how that could affect your personality, and then what is happening on any given day and how that is affecting the energy of the day. maybe because of whatever transit, you might be a little more irritable, or you might be in a really good mood, or you might feel more sociable. I think that all of those come into play. So it's kind of, to me, it's nice to just kind of be like, yeah, maybe I should take a day for myself. Maybe it should be a quieter day today, or maybe it's a good day for socializing with friends or whatever. And just kind of like using that knowledge to your advantage to get the most out of your day. I think it's a good day for self-reflection, then take advantage of that.
Yeah,
I get it. I like it.
Yeah.
It promotes taking time to think about yourself, your life, and what you're doing. I think a lot of things in our lives should be set up to do that, for us to reflect and really hone in on what we need for ourselves and our bodies. And I think that if that's an avenue for you to do that, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's just fun too.
Yeah. For me, it's just not worth the effort of learning in it, because I've learned there's so many things in my brain that I have hyperfixated on and learned so much about, that putting another thing in my brain feels like a lot.
I definitely hyperfixate on stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something that I used to like pay attention to or care about at all, but then it just, I just got interested in it, and it turned out to be fun, and so I just pay attention to it. Not saying that I will forever, but right now it's an interest. So what am I doing for my birthday? I am going to New York tomorrow.
What?
Yeah. I'll be back Saturday.
It's going to be so fun.
It is. My friend Carl is taking me, and I'm going to be in a movie.
Yeah, that's what you're going to be like an extra in the movie, or what is going on with that?
Yeah. So I think, and Carl will correct me if I'm wrong if he listens to this, but I think he's co-producing it. And
He's co-producing the film?
Yeah, I think that's what he said. And then, so he has like an actual small role in the one scene that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so he has an actual role, and I'm just going to be an extra.
Awesome.
Yeah. At an
That
art
sounds
gallery
cool.
in Brooklyn.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
That's going to
I've
be
never
awesome.
been
You're
to
leaving
New York.
tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
I've never been to New York City, so I don't know.
It's incredible.
I hear that. I just have never been, so I can't wait to hear about it and see all the pictures and everything.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do really good about taking pictures, because I usually suck at that. But I went to New York when I was a senior in high school, and one of the things that I remember the most was just flying into the city,
Mm-hmm.
and it just amazed me how many buildings there were. It was just
I
like
know.
miles and miles and miles and miles of skyscrapers.
And everything is so tightly packed in there.
Yeah, like all of the hotel rooms are small, all of the restaurants, like the tables are all squished together.
Right, right. Are you staying in Brooklyn, or where are you staying?
No, I'm staying in Midtown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
On, I think, right across from the New York Public Library.
Oh, sweet. We
Yeah.
stayed at the, right down the street from the World Trade Center, or the One World Trade.
Mm-hmm.
And we went up
Mm-hmm.
that. Have you been there since it's been built?
Mm-mm.
Go up in there.
Okay.
It's insane.
Cool.
It's insane. And do the 9/11 museum.
Okay.
You've got to do the 9/11 museum. It
Okay.
will blow your mind. It's the most impactful thing I ever experienced in my life.
I haven't really,
Wow.
planned out an itinerary. The only thing that I actually for sure want to do is go to the New York Public Library, because it's not something that you would usually, put on your list of things to do. But if I'm staying right across the street, definitely going to do that. And then the rest is, other than the one night of filming, is kind of play it by ear. So I'll put the 9/11 museum on my list and report back.
It's really, really great. I'm jealous. Damn, I'm jealous.
I know. I'm a library girly, so that's cool.
Yeah, me too.
That to be right across from it. When I travel, I like to find the libraries and go inside. Just
Oh, that's
wander
neat.
around. Yeah, just like when I went on a cruise, we went to, I don't remember where, just in the Caribbean, and one of the places we stopped, there was just a library, and I was like, I'm going in there.
They're
Yeah.
so peaceful.
Yeah.
It is. It's peaceful. There's books around. People are there to learn or to use the Wi-Fi. They're not there to
Yeah.
do anything crazy. and people are typically pretty friendly in a library.
Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to go find an all gluten-free restaurant.
Yes. I sent you one on TikTok the other day.
Yeah.
That because I follow so many gluten-free celiac
Are you
creators.
are you gluten intolerant?
We both are.
Are you?
I have celiac.
So we're
but-
best friends.
Yeah.
One of the
I
of the
know.
things on the list.
Well, and
Well, it's actually like really convenient when your best friend is.
Oh yeah, I
It's-
bet. Yeah.
we don't ever have
You're
to
like
think about it.
you're
If we're
fighting
if
through
we're
life
cooking
together.
for each
yeah.
other. We don't have to like
Right.
stipulate anything, and we know the same restaurants and the same menu items around town where it's safe, and
Yeah,
so
and can find things like yesterday I went to Morgan's house and I was just like, I brought you some gluten-free golden Oreos.
Ooh, wow.
And today at work, we celebrated my birthday. We always do birthday cakes at work for birthdays, and they got me a gluten-free cake, which I can't eat all of it before I go to New York tomorrow. And it's like, hey, Lana.
I'm excited to have cake. She'll be gone. I'll be sad, but I'll have
yeah, what are you
gluten-free
gonna
cake.
do when she's out of town?
It's actually really convenient that she's leaving this weekend because my sister is coming into town from San Diego.
Oh, so you don't have to. That's perfect.
Yeah. So I'll have time with my sister. I haven't seen her in over a year. She moved almost 2 years ago out there, and it's her first time coming home to visit because it's just such a trip.
Yeah, that's a big journey.
Yeah, and when you don't have a lot of time off, it's hard to take a big trip like that. And
Yeah.
And so even if I can go out there, my mom can go out there, whatever, my sister doesn't have a ton of time off. So
What does she
would
do?
still have to work. She works at Fleet Feet.
Okay.
Yep. So she fits runners for shoes. She runs. She's done some of their running clubs
Awesome.
and run those things, and is involved in all of their 5Ks and everything like that. So
Sweet.
it's a pretty nice gig.
Yeah, they've got a massive. I mean, they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big one, and they do a lot of good stuff. Like they do a lot of like good races and things like that, and they help a
Yeah.
lot of people, from what I hear as well.
Yeah, I think they do some charity work and stuff.
Mhm.
I think sometimes their runs will benefit things, and that's really great too. So
I like only get my workout shoes from Fleet Feet because my feet are fucked up.
yeah, but
It'd be
they're
like
I
that.
mean they're all trained to fit you into exactly what you need, so that's good.
Yeah, the Fleet Feet is they have the one in Flowwood. Right? They have Flowwood and Ridgeland, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know there was one in Flowwood, but
And
yeah.
do they
I
have
don't-
do they have the machine that measures your foot?
Yes.
Is that Fleet Feet or is that Stinky
Feet? I don't
There
know.
used to be a place called Stinky Feet, but I don't think it's here anymore.
No, I think there's a Stinky Feet in Flowwood.
I've
maybe
never
it's
heard of
Fleet
Stinky
Feet.
It is Fleet Feet. There's a Fleet Feet in Flowwood. There used to be a place called Stinky Feet, but that was like years ago.
But yes, Fleet Feet does have the machine.
The machine. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's right. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they all have. I every time I go, it's like the only time I ever buy a nice pair of socks.
Oh yeah.
They do have great socks.
I
Me
got
too.
my sister, I always, every year, get her a pair of like those 15 days of socks or 12 days of socks or whatever because they're fun and it's a good gift. I got them for her this year and sent them to her. And she's like, well, I have a lot of socks from my job. And I was like, but these have cats on them. And she's like, well, the ones that I have are made for runners. And I'm like, I'm not a runner.
You can get me socks. I can't seem to keep up with my socks.
Mhm.
Which isn't that interesting? There's something. It's
I can never find a pair of matching socks.
there's always something. There's like a monster or something.
Yeah, my well, yesterday I returned a pair of socks to Morgan, and
Yes, they were at your house. I
Wow,
at
y'all
my
borrow
house.
socks? You're at that level?
yeah, we're that level. We share
Whoa.
socks. But the funny thing about it is they were not a matched pair. She was just like threw 2 socks at me and was like, "Here you go." And so I gave them back, like rolled up in a nice little ball for
Did
her.
you wash them?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not an animal. It was just we were hanging out one night, and I think we were gonna stay in, but then ended up going out. And I was like, it's freezing. My feet are dying. And so she threw them at me. But yeah, I lose socks too. Recently, my parents, we were cleaning out, getting ready for my sister to come, as you do. And we were cleaning out the laundry room. And like a few years back, they had issues with rats getting in.
Yeah.
And they would come in from the ceiling, and we found that they were coming in from outside too into the laundry room, and we pulled out so many socks.
So that's what happens to socks.
It could be. But it was wild because there was a bunch of like single socks where they had like pulled them into the area around the like hot water heater, and like no one goes in there.
Yeah.
No one's ever in the hot water heater to look at it, to check it, to look around it. And there were just socks everywhere.
I was folding clothes today, and I was folding clothes the other day when you were over at my house, and my kids' socks, I found like 10 socks that didn't have a pair, and I don't
It's frustrating.
understand.
You know, they can be in your washing machine.
Yes, I've heard that.
I saw a
I
TikTok
think
about
also
that.
my problem is when I get stuff out of the washing machine, they fall in between
Mm-hmm.
the washing machine.
Right.
and
Do
the
you have a
dryer.
gap? We have a
It's
trash
just like-
can
It's like,
between
yeah, like
ours.
oh, that's a good idea. Maybe you need one of those things that you put in your car, you know,
to catch
Yeah.
things.
catch things in the gap
Yeah.
Yeah.
in between my dryer and
Mhm.
washing machine. Maybe
Yeah.
fix that problem. But yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like this problem should have been solved by now.
It
at
really
this day and
should have,
age.
because you spend good money on socks, and then they go away.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. My friend from my childhood friend, his mom would label 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then the number of each sock. So they always.
Oh wow.
Like,
That's a level that I could never.
it was like on the underside with some sort of like incredible like sticky stuff, like labeling that never comes off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
it's like, I mean, and he's a spine surgeon now, so I mean, that's what happens when you take care of your socks.
Does it turn them into grippy socks?
No, yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe that's his secret.
Because I like my socks so I can like slide across the floor. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
risky
yeah.
business.
Yeah, when
Oh,
you got
yeah.
you got the vibe going on in the house.
Yeah. I like the ones with the grips on them that's too sometimes. Because
True.
most of the time they're real fuzzy.
Yeah, you can get them go to the jump place in Jackson.
Yeah.
and get 'em
Oh, I've
there.
got a lot of those. My kids have a lot of those.
Yeah, that place is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are normally paired at your house.
Yeah, weirdly.
Grippy socks are the answer. Just don't get them from a grippy sock vacation if you don't have to.
Yeah. There's a time and a place for a grippy sock vacation. You know. It's not,
I have
not, it's
never-
not necessarily a goal.
I've never had one.
You never had one what?
A grippy sock vacation.
Oh, I don't know that I have either, but it sounds kind of great.
It's
Molly sounded. Molly
Yeah.
made it sound
well, it's when you go to like a mental health facility because they give them grippy socks. I don't know why.
Well, I guess. I mean,
Hospital
so they don't.
socks.
So they don't do any risky business.
I guess yeah. I don't want them having fun in there. That would be the.
No, that's so sad. So sad.
One time, I was, this is like high school. I don't know why this made me think of this, but I was thinking about risky business and like if you accidentally like did a split or something.
Ah.
But it actually happened to me one time, but I was wearing shoes. I was in 8th grade maybe, and I went to a private school and we had to wear uniforms. And one of the approved types of shoes that we could wear were saddle Oxfords.
Yeah. I love
And
those
they
as a
had
kid.
no traction.
No, they're
at
just
all.
Slick.
And so this was before there was carpet tile in the hallways and all the hallways at the school that I now go to.
I was like, where is there carpet tile in a school? It's just commercial
Well, maybe it was
tile.
just the private school that I went to now.
Oh,
It's all
now
carpet
it comes
tiled
out
in the hallway.
private
Because like
school.
I went because it's where my kids go to, and I walked in the high school hallway, and it was all carpet tiled. I was like, damn it, this story would not have happened to me if we had carpet tile at the time.
Exactly.
We had the good old Armstrong VCT.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was wearing my saddle Oxfords, and I was in like 8th grade, and I had one class in the high school building, even though I was in junior high, and it was raining outside. It was super wet, so like no traction control on my shoes. And I remember I was walking in the door to the high school building, walking past the 11th grade chemistry classroom, and I'm in my uniform, and I'm in my uniform skirt, and one of my saddle Oxfords just went shoop right as I was walking past the 11th grade chemistry classroom in the hallway, and I did a full-on split.
Did you play it off, or did you?
It was kind of hard to play that off. Like, how do you play that off when you're in that compromising position?
You jump up and superstar.
Exactly.
50. I'm
So,
50.
like, all the 11th grade guys in that classroom saw, because it was,
What grade were you in?
8th.
Oh, you were in 8th grade, and the 11th.
The 11th
graders
grade
saw
boys
you
were
bite the dust.
yeah,
Oh,
in my
boy.
skirt.
In your skirt.
Oh no. That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. It's okay. It's funny because when you think about embarrassing stories, don't get embarrassed too much as an adult. Like,
No.
when you think about embarrassing stories, what always comes to mind is childhood and teenage years. I can't think of a whole lot of stuff that just got me so super embarrassed as an adult. I don't know.
I feel like I lived embarrassed as a child. I was just
Yes,
always
yeah.
nervous, anxious, embarrassed. Like,
Yeah.
I can't think of any big embarrassing moments. I think there was a moment when I was teaching, and this is when I knew my my classroom management was too strong. Because it should have been embarrassing, but it was not, because I was like just powering through the class, like walking around. Every kid was working. It was awesome. I stood up at the front and looked out at the kids and was like, look at this work that I've done. I've let out this huge fart. Not a single kid looked up, said anything, did anything. Not a single one. And I was like, this is too strong. Because that should have been a moment where they were like, Miss Price, we're gonna need to laugh at you. And they did not. They didn't. They just like continued, didn't even look up, and I was like, this is a power that is beyond my control.
What about you? Do you have any embarrassing stories, Daniel? No, nothing comes to mind from the good old days.
No, my entire existence until I got sober was tragic and embarrassing. So pick any one of those 33 years before I got sober, and any of those days, that could be the day. Yeah. I did a lot of learning. I did a lot of learning from making mistakes and making an ass of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It paid off, fortunately, finally, but I had a lot of opportunities to learn from my mistakes. Let's just say that. It was hard. I hated high school. But I was the photographer, I was the yearbook photo editor and the newspaper editor of the high school newspaper, and I was at every event, and so I wanted to being behind the camera was my solution. That was no one could see me, and I was offering everyone something, so I felt like I had value. But when at the end of the day, I felt completely alone,
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard. It was hard.
Yeah. I think we've all made embarrassing life choices.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But as long as you learn from them and move on from it, I think that those experiences are good,
Yeah.
Like my dating history.
I need to get my sound effects. Womp, womp, womp.
Truly, though, it's an embarrassment. When I look back at it, I try and think of, like, there's this one guy that I dated for almost a year, and every time I look back on it, I'm like, everything he did was embarrassing. Everything he did was embarrassing. I thought it was endearing. It was not endearing.
Oh, endearing.
Yeah.
You thought you were endearing.
You
No, I
know,
thought that he was
rose-colored
being-
glasses.
Yeah, I thought he was being endearing, or it was endearing to me that he did things that were quirky and unusual, and it was just, looking back, I'm like, that was an embarrassing time in my life.
Yeah. Well, they say that your dating history is a good reflection of your mental health at the time.
Yeah, I
You
wasn't
line up-
strong.
If you line up all of your exes, you can see the history of your mental illness.
That was
Peaks and valleys.
that was like
Mostly
straight
valleys.
out of my divorce was that relationship, and man, oh man, it was not a good time.
I get it. It's a hard thing to go through. I think we've all been through it.
Yeah. What about the last time you were in the dating world, Daniel? It's been a little,
Last time
been
I was in
been a
the-
minute for you.
It's been
What was that like?
Uh,
We'll tell you how it is now.
I don't want to know how it is. I don't know. Like I didn't do things right. I really didn't. Like because I think like a lot of it. And I'm just gonna be like gut level honest here. Like so. Fuck it. Yeah. So so I associated sex with love.
Yeah.
Right, because I was adopted, and like I felt like I didn't feel loved unless like having sex to me is like the ultimate form of saying, hey, I love you, I'm gonna be here, I've got you, you know, I'm here for you. So for me, like I've always seeked that the maximum feelings, like in whatever I do, in and out of sobriety, both. So like I tragically associated love with sex, and that negatively affected every relationship that I ever had, because my first focus in finding a partner to date was, can I have sex with this person, because I desperately have a hole inside and I need to fill that with the love and appreciation of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awful. It was truly, truly awful. Everything that I did, it was, and God, I'm just going to be fucking honest. Everything I did, somehow sex was on my mind about what my motives were.
Yeah. Well, you are a man.
Yes, but like I feel like I was like hypersexual. Like I was hyper, like I gotta, like to the point of being manipulative. Like I need to get my needs met, and I'm willing to do whatever the fuck I need to do in order to make sure that I feel okay. And so that was the problem. The solution today is it's a lot better. I'm sober. I have spirituality. I don't have that hole inside of me. But I still like it was those years of not being able to differentiate love from sex. It hurt me a lot. And I've had to do a lot of therapy and a lot of internal family systems work and a lot of just trying to become at peace with who I am and begin to love myself. Like it took a lot of work, and I still work on it every day. You know, I'll never be cured. I'll never be healed. I'll always deal with those thoughts and feelings that, well, my own fucking birth mom didn't love me enough to keep me. She threw me away. So how could anyone possibly love me? So I've gone through life trying to do everything in my power to be a chameleon and to be loved by all, so that I would never have to feel those fucking feelings again. Yeah. And that has played itself out in every aspect of my life. And it wasn't until I got sober that I started to be like, holy shit, some work needs to be done because I am a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And I am tragically misguided. So fortunately I was able to do like, you know, a lot of therapy, but like I said, like that was it for me. Like sex was love. Love was sex. If there was no sex, there was no love. If there was no sex, like how could we be together? Like there's no sex. So you can imagine the impact that would have on a relationship and how negative that would be on a relationship. So
yeah,
it's been a lot. It's been a struggle.
I think that's common though. The confusing physical and emotional intimacy.
Yeah.
I feel like it only recently clicked for me on how to separate the two, or that I was able to separate the two.
Yeah.
It just clicked.
Yeah.
And I do think that comes from like doing the work and
there is a solution.
learning how to love yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And but the most important thing is like for me at least, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, if I'm going around if I'm in need of, if I have a spiritual hole, if I have a hole inside my heart that is not being filled by God or you know, by self-love or anything in the supernatural realm, then I'm on a fast track to, you know, trying to stuff as many things in my soul as possible, whether it be shopping, whether it be buying equipment, buying, you know, stuff for whatever. I can still be guilty of that, of like acting out with like buying shit, like being fiscally responsible, like in order to make myself feel better. It's not nearly as intense and bad and devastating as it once was, but it's still something that I struggle with, you know? So, you know, I'm a work in progress, you know, I think I always will be, but at least I'm willing to take a realistic look at myself and realize that, hey, work needs to be done. Work is always going to need to be done. And I will never arrive at the finish line. It will always be a journey.
Yeah. I think we all have different ways of coping. I think that shopping one can get really easy to Amazon things just to like
oh my
fill
God.
a little bit of a hole.
Amazon is too fucking easy.
It is too
It's
easy.
too easy to buy.
Sometimes I do Amazon detoxes. Sometimes I do online shopping detoxes, not because I have a problem with online shopping. For me, it's more of a value-based thing on supporting local and less impact on the environment. But, you know, sometimes I'll just get lazy and then I'll go back to the normal way of ordering things from Amazon. But then I'll just, some days I'll wake up and I'll be like, no Amazon for however long. And it's actually, it's good because it makes you think about, well, did I actually need that thing now that I'm planning on going to a physical store to buy it?
Right.
And if I am not motivated enough to get up and go to a physical store and buy it, then I probably didn't need it in the first place. So you actually save a ton of money.
Yeah.
And I feel like it also just connects you more to your local environment when you're going out of your way to, you know, go get a book at a local bookstore, or I mean, the quality's going to be better too. So
Yeah, the customer service, and like if you go to Lemuria, then you're gonna get the book. You can get the book gift wrapped for free, and it looks very nice. And it's just what you get from being in a place that's not Barnes and Noble or Books A Million. I think it's a little more, it's a little more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you just got to put in a Temu order.
Yeah.
Hey,
you
that's
pronounce it.
There's how do you, I thought it was Temu.
Well,
Temu.
did you watch the Super Bowl commercials?
No, I did not watch the Super Bowl commercials.
Ooh, Temu.
Yeah, made my brain hurt because I thought it was Temu for so long.
But somebody sent me a Facebook message with a YouTube link from their Super Bowl commercials last year, and they pronounced it Temu. So they're gaslighting us.
Oh, that's
not
good.
right.
I mean, that's good to know that we weren't
Crazy.
like, yeah,
They tried to make us think we were crazy.
they did.
Yeah.
Temu or whatever. It's not awful. Like the quality, but the shipping time is. I mean,
It's long.
yeah.
Yeah, I just recently bought a bunch of like Hello Kitty stuff and like tons of things for a 9-year-old's birthday, and it was like $20 for like so much, and she was like, "Oh my god!"
You get a shipping
look at all
container full of
this."
things for $50.
Yeah, it was like so many things, like pins, like a purse, little change purse, like all kinds of things with all of her favorite Pokemon, Hello Kitty stuff, Harry Potter, everything that she loves, and it was like so cheap. And
But speaking of ethics, like who knows the
I know
the labor that's going into that? It's hard.
That's like very much the opposite of buying local.
Oh yeah, it's the opposite. The exact like
Yeah.
if you could think of the worst opposite thing from buying local, it would have to be Temu.
Yeah,
Temu. I'm gonna say Temu.
I think it's Temu. I
Well,
really do.
I think so.
I guess it's a matter of opinion at this point
I guess so.
because they don't know either.
I know they're still getting their money. They're doing all right.
They don't care.
No.
They don't
'Cause
care
they're
what we call
getting all the money. But the returns on there are super easy because if I get something that's way bigger or way smaller or just not what I wanted, they just refund your money.
You don't have to send it back?
No,
What?
I didn't know that.
they just refund your money.
Oh.
Like, because one time I had something come in like either horribly damaged or just like completely wrong. And I was like, this is not what I ordered. And I went in and it's like free returns. So I clicked on it and it was like, keep the item. And they just refund it. And I've done it several times since because either the product description was wrong or it was broken, because sometimes in shipping or just it's like kind of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Then it gets
Target's pretty good about that too.
yeah.
If it's an online mail-in order
Oh yeah.
or mail return. Yeah.
I mean, Amazon returns are. I mean, they're not. It's pretty easy.
But they always make you return it
Yeah, you got to go to UPS
Not
or Whole Foods.
always.
or Whole
though.
Foods. See, I live on the other side of town from Whole Foods.
Mm.
Yeah.
You guys are like right around the corner from Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I live in the burbs.
Yeah.
Ooh. I know.
We're
It's,
judging you.
we are judging you.
Maybe you should move to Jackson.
Oh, thank you.
It's fine. We love it.
I know you do. I'm happy for you. I really am.
I really do love it.
I do too.
It's easier to get to things.
Y'all are not in the hood. Like, oh God.
No.
Y'all are in a great area, or I don't know where you live, but I know where you live, and it's
Wow.
He's
beautiful.
in Belhaven.
Oh, you're in Belhaven?
Yeah.
If you're okay with me saying that on.
Wow. Oh, you just exposed
Oh,
me.
let
There's
me-
going to be people creeping outside
um,
my house.
Let me just edit that out real quick.
I'm just kidding. No, it's fine.
No,
Well-
Belhaven's pretty. I've done a lot of work in Belhaven. There's a lot of old, beautiful houses.
Yeah, probably a lot of old rusty tubs too.
A lot of old rusty tubs. Lots of rust.
Yeah.
Belhaven is, I mean, it's really fun, like, especially since they've built up the town center and.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Have-
Yeah, it's so easy to get there. I did a crafting class there last week, and it was just like, I was like, I don't want to be late, and it was started at 6:30, and I got in my car at like 6:25, and I was like, 2 minutes early.
Right.
Yeah, it's super convenient. And then you are supporting local because all of those businesses are local, which is nice.
Yeah, and the Belhaven business, whatever, I don't know what the actual organization is, but they all do a really good job of supporting each other's businesses, you know, like sourcing from Sunflower Oven or just things like that.
Yeah, like the Beans and Bananas will have things from like Campbell's and Hal and Mal's and partner with them. And then like the crafting class I did was with Mallory Welch, who is a local artist, and she does tattoos and like just
Speaking of that, I won a free tattoo for Molly's giveaway
What?
today.
You did?
Yes.
What are you gonna do with it? Because you don't have tattoos.
I don't know. I feel like it's a sign.
Yeah,
You gonna
it
get a
is.
tattoo?
It is a sign.
Like,
Is she gonna do it?
yeah,
She's gonna do it here
on the show.
on
Oh my gosh.
the show.
Okay.
Is that a thing? I don't know that you can replicate a sterile work environment on
Well,
the
maybe
show.
the show should come to her shop.
Maybe the show should come to her shop.
That would be. I mean, there's plenty of lighting there.
And I mean, I can bring lights. I can
They
bring
have-
those two little jokers right there.
You might want to be careful because they might steal them because they need lots of light for tattooing.
First, I got to figure out what I'm doing and where it's going. Because I can't shock Freddie too much. He
How
told me,
like how big is this? Like how much was
I don't know. I don't know.
It's
the? I
probably
don't
a
even know how
certain
much
size.
tattoos are. Like,
I don't either.
Expensive.
are they?
I didn't know that there was a giveaway. I would have entered and then
It
maybe
was
I
like
could have won.
it was like it had to be a couple months ago because I don't remember sharing recently. But
Mhm.
she was doing the giveaway to get to 1,000 followers or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I think it was a couple months ago, and I mean I shared because she's like my best friend, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna share her. I'm gonna share her business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I didn't think I would actually win.
that's pretty awesome.
Somehow I
She
missed
said
Do you think
I-
it was rigged? Do you think that?
No, she did it on Instagram Live, and she
Oh,
just
wow.
had a baggie full of Instagram handles written down on paper, and I know a lot of people entered that giveaway
Yeah.
because I saw all the people commenting and tagging, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't have any tattoos, but I have been, I've been thinking about it for a while, and I struggle with overthinking about something that's going to be on my body forever. So
Well, that's probably a good thing.
yeah,
Yeah. But it
but
could be something memorable with your kids or something
Yeah.
memorable with.
I think it's a sign that I should.
Yeah. I think you should.
I don't think that there are such things as coincidences. So,
I don't either.
No, I think things happen to
but I'm gonna have to talk to Freddie
teach
about
us.
it
Yeah.
and get permission. My oldest son, because
Mhm.
he told me one time that if I got a tattoo, I couldn't be his mom anymore. So
What? Where
I
That's
don't
so-
know.
do you have
That's
like
gotta be-
does he have overbearing like grandparents or something? Or
No,
like where does this come
he
from?
doesn't. He's not hearing anything judgmental about tattoos at home. I think where it stemmed from when he said that was it was early on after the separation between me and my ex-husband. And it was also around the same time where I had kind of like new friends coming into my life, coming over, like Lana, Molly were over at the house a lot more.
Mhm.
And I mean, like, I have other friends,
Mhm.
but a lot of my other friends are kind of in the phase of life where, they're married, they have young kids. I don't have a whole lot of like single friends that have time to just like come over to my house and hang out.
Yeah.
And so,
It's hard when you've got like a life.
right.
You know, like
Yeah. So Lana and Molly were over there a lot more, and I guess they hadn't been around any of my other friends that have tattoos.
Mhm.
And it's not like Felix thinks they're super cool.
Yeah.
But I think for Freddie, it was a lot of transition happening at once, and then like mom getting a tattoo. The idea of mom getting a tattoo on top of everything else that's going on in my life right now was just too much to think about.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure it's
he was
different
also
now.
seeing me like not change as a person, but he was starting to see a side of me that he didn't see on a daily basis because I was kind of just like bogged down in mom wife shit. And
Yeah.
it was funny because Felix was around that time. Felix told me I was more of a laugher girl lately, and it's just because I think I have more emotional availability for my kids now, because now that we're separated or divorced, but at the time we were separated, we started doing 50-50 custody. So it's like those weeks that I do have my kids, I'm more motivated to be present while they're there and do fun things with them. Whereas when you're just with your kids 24/7, like, you try to be good about that. And I'm not saying I was bad at it, but you do kind of get in the routine and bog down in the day-to-day and, like, cleaning the house and getting food on the table and doing homework. And so the weeks that I do have my kids, now I feel like I'm much more present. And then the weeks that I don't have my kids is time for me to kind of pour back into myself and fill my cup. And then they come back and my cup's filled. And so I don't know. I think it's actually a good thing. But I totally lost my train of thought. I don't know how that relates to the tattoo. But
I think it just
was going somewhere.
I like it.
It was to do with just the transition in your life and how that was affecting your kids.
Yeah, I think they were like, yeah, that's where I was going. They were seeing kind of a different side of me. I'm still the same person, but
I think
it was just a lot of transition for Freddie at first. I think they're settling in now, though, much better.
I think in so many ways it's been good for them to see you in a more healthy emotional space, though, because when they're around, and they do like having us come over and hang out.
Oh, yeah, they love it. Yeah.
And, like, play with them. And Felix is like, he's attached to anyone who will let him attach to him. He's a little codependent baby. But he will just be like, Lana, will you just watch YouTube with me?
Aw.
And I'll be like, yeah, sure. And he's like, but without your phone, just YouTube, just watch it with me. And I'm like, sure, baby.
He's been like that ever since he could talk. I don't know what it is. It's like the opposite of autism.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be looking at him in the eye.
Yeah.
Or he will pull your face to look at him.
Yeah.
Ever since he could interact.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so wild.
He's going to be like some sort of like mastermind of the world. Hey, you're not paying attention to me. Come on. Eyes right here, ma'am.
He does like
we're
to
talking
be the
about
center.
alone here. I need your eyes right here, please. Thank you.
He does like to be the center of attention.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Whereas Freddie is like, don't talk to me.
Yeah, he's a bit of a loner. But I think he'll be okay with the tattoos now because he already has one design.
He
that's
has
been
already
tattooed.
designed a tattoo that is on somebody's body. So
Yeah.
and more to come.
Yeah, he's designed. There's one that I want that's like a design that he did it's like a stick figure, but it's a flower, and it has this horrified look on its face, but it's holding a thumbs up. And it is my favorite thing because it's just like how I always feel on the inside.
Yeah.
It's just like this horrified feeling. But I'm just like, I'm doing great.
Maybe Freddie will ironically become a tattoo artist,
That would be so funny.
which I would support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good little artist.
So anyway, I got to figure out what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Ideas are welcome
Mm.
from TikTok.
Hey, TikTok.
Hey, TikTok.
When are you going to get your next tattoo? Do you have tattoos, Daniel?
I've got one. I've got Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah, I got it across from the Hollywood Theater and on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
I was high as a kite, tripping on
Yeah.
mushrooms, and it was quite. I was
Give
19.
me Jesus.
Yeah, that was the only. Yeah, and I got Jesus.
That is
Like I would get super high and go to church, and like that was like my thing. And like do praise and worship like super high. Yeah, I was odd.
That's one way to do it. No, I don't know when I'll get my next tattoo.
Do you have any?
Yeah, I have like 9 or 10.
What?
Yeah.
Are they hidden?
I mean, right now, yeah.
Okay.
She's got a lot on her legs.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, both thighs. My back. Yeah. I like to have them, but I don't like them everywhere. Though I would be open to some visible ones.
What are your thoughts on Post Malone's face or any face tattoos?
I mean, I personally wouldn't put one on my face, but I have friends that I don't know. Depends on depends on what it is and where it is, and
Yeah. Because Molly's got a moon on her forehead that's really cute.
yeah, hers is cute.
But I love Post Malone's face tattoos because he has one that says "always tired," and with my narcolepsy, I would love it.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I would
love
put
him.
it somewhere else, but I would definitely get that tattoo somewhere on me that says "always tired." It could be the same one. I don't care.
I think you just have to have the right aesthetic to pull it off.
Yeah.
Random face tattoo, and does it go with your vibe, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think it creates a vibe when you get face tattoos.
Yeah.
And neck tattoos.
Yeah.
I agree.
The
I agree.
vibe
So
is
tell us
created.
about going to church high. Like, what was the goal there?
I wanted things my way.
Mm-hmm.
I liked being high, and I wanted to go to church.
What kind of church did you go to?
It was just like a Bible church,
What's a Bible church?
like non-denominational.
Oh,
Mm.
like the praise. You got the praise team.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Christian
carry
rock.
the TV and carry the baby and all of that. Yeah,
Carry the baby.
yeah. Or hold the baby. You know.
Okay,
Oh.
you're gonna have to put the screen on yourself because this is important.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, Morgan, you show what he's showing. Carry the TV.
No, that's the baby. Hold the baby
That's
up.
the baby.
Hold the baby
That's
up.
the baby.
All right, carry the TV. Carry the TV.
What?
Oh,
Carry
what?
Carry is straight out, arm straight out.
Yep. Now carry the large screen TV.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, I see. Oh, these are the hand gestures.
Yeah.
Right.
okay. Straight.
That
in
was
the
never for
air.
me.
Yeah, it was not for me.
No.
I mean, I when I was high, yeah, it was all about that.
There's some people that like you can, when you see them doing it, you don't get the vibe that they're doing it for show, and then there's some people that are like, you were so insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're definitely performing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think like a lot of it is like, you know, showing vulnerability and like coming to God. I mean, I get that, but some of it is just showy, and it's just kind of like, shut up, just
Yeah.
fucking sit down in
You
your
can
chair.
just tell by looking at a person which category they fall into. I know, not me judging. Maybe a little. Maybe
You
a
just
little.
look at them, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
kind of like the face tattoos.
Yeah.
You gotta know.
Yeah.
Come on, Morgan.
Yeah, I talked to somebody, a friend about that. We were talking about church and how like that, like, I don't know, I just have this like weird, like, I mean, I grew up in the church. I went to, you know, on mission trips to Africa and Guatemala and like 49 of the 50 states on a Christian singing and dancing tour. And like, I mean, I was immersed in church, and it was a lot, you know, and like, there's a lot of that is, I mean, it feels off to me now, you know,
Yeah.
it just feels not genuine and authentic
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
times.
Well, I think that it's a delicate balance for churches now, because I think you said this one time, Lana, like some of the more modern formats for praise and worship come across like they're trying to manufacture
Yeah.
a vibe.
An emotion, an
Yeah.
emotional reaction.
Yeah, manufacturing an emotional reaction to convert people or whatever they're trying to do. So I don't know. I when it comes to my faith, I tend to have some eclectic viewpoints, but I think what it comes down to for me is one thing I struggle with a lot with the concept of evangelism is attraction over promotion. There's a lot of promotion happening.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I just don't see how you can promote something to somebody without having first judged them. Like they're not, their faith is not correct, or
right.
or they're not a good enough Christian, or
Yeah.
so I like the attraction over promotion approach that we've discovered in the recovery community. Just how you live your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah,
and-
that's what AA is all about. You can't go, hey, you can't promote. You can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No.
You can't do that. You
No.
got to live the life that somebody sees and wants to follow in your footsteps.
right.
Yeah, same thing with Al-Anon, because we both, I mean, all of us are not hidden in the program. We, you know, we aren't like wearing Al-Anon shirt. Which, funny enough, there is a shirt that's gonna happen for the conference.
With Al-Anon on it? With Al-Anon on the shirt?
I think so. Yeah,
that's interesting.
It's a cute shirt design. Have you not seen it?
No.
Anyways,
I have not made any of the planning meetings.
Well, it's like a circus theme, and it looks real cute. So
that's interesting because they're usually very. I mean, there's a reason behind the anonymity, and it's not just to protect other people,
right?
It's to protect the program itself. So
right, it's interesting though, but you know, a lot of people ask Morgan and I how we know each other, and we always say Al-Anon. And before that, I had friends who weren't as forthcoming about it, and we would just say we would met at church, which was
not a lie.
Not a lie.
Right.
Never a lie, but just, you know, it helped. And they would say which church, and we would say the church that the meeting was at. And it is a church that I go to, but it is nice to know that there are different ways of showing it. You can be a little more open and say like, oh, this is how we met. And then if people have questions, you can answer like, oh, it's for family and friends of alcoholics. And they're like, some people are really turned off by it, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And we'll walk away. But some people are like, oh, look, tell me more about that. But I think that just comes down to authenticity.
Yeah. I mean, I think like a lot of alcoholics think that Al-Anons hate them. I mean, that's, you know what I mean?
That's because we know how to set boundaries against them.
Yeah.
They don't like our boundaries.
Yeah. I was on a meeting this morning, actually, and someone was talking about that. And, I mean, it is. Like, that's what it is. It's boundaries. Like, Al-Anons know how to set boundaries. And, I mean, Al-Anon has changed my life. I'm an alcoholic, yes. I'm an addict. I will always be. But, like, what I've learned in Al-Anon has helped me equally as much as what I learned in Alcoholics Anonymous, you know, being able to, you know, not, I feel stupid saying this right now, but not be affected by other people's behavior.
We all still have triggers. It's okay. Yeah, because in Al-Anon, you could almost replace step one is admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives have become unmanageable, but you could almost just replace the word alcohol with other people.
Yeah.
That's what the Codependent Anonymous step one is.
Yeah, it's like Al-Anon, it does help a lot with codependency.
It's incredible.
Even though you're not in CODA, but yeah.
Well, and I believe the word codependent came from Al-Anon.
Did it?
I believe so, because when I was researching, if you look at her name is escaping me now, but it's the book for codependence. It's the Daily Reader. Now I can't remember the name of the book either, but she talks about where did it come from, and I believe it was Al-Anon.
Well, it makes sense because in Al-Anon you're learning a lot about yourself, but also how to manage interpersonal relationships with alcoholics.
Yeah, but like, I've used what I've learned in Al-Anon more with people that are not alcoholics than I have with people that are alcoholics.
Oh yeah,
you know.
for
yeah.
sure.
I mean, I use
Every
the tools every day, all
Every
day.
day.
Like people I work with, people in my family.
Probably your kids.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah.
Dating.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh.
I looked it up. Just it's the Codependent No More books by Melody Beattie. Those are the ones. But yeah, dating. It's awful. I hate it. We're like,
what if there's like an app for like people that don't want to be on a dating app? Oh no. Well, we're at 59. We're at 59. Can you wait 30 seconds?
I guess.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We're okay. We all got to pee. All right. So this has been great. This has been awesome. We'll see you next week. Who do we have next week?
That's a good
mystery.
question. We were supposed to have Christina Span today, but she unfortunately had a flight delay, so it was just the three of us. We'll figure out.
Well,
maybe she can
maybe
come
we'll
next
get her
week.
next
Yeah,
week.
we'll get her. We'll get her. All right, cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today on the Misguidance Podcast. I'm Daniel Anderson.
I'm Lana Price.
And I'm Morgan Conwill.
We'll see you next week.